I'm so happy that I came here because there's a lot of things that I've seen today that I have not seen before.
What's up? You are watching 3LW TV.
3LW TV.
Welcome to 3LW TV. I'm Lionel Williams. I am coming to you today in front of the birthplace of Martin Luther King Jr. It is King Weekend here in Atlanta, and my very good friends from the Skorpion show, Skorpion and Makael, are in town, and we're hanging out today. Hoping that you're having a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend, and that you are remembering what the weekend is truly, truly about.
You got to lead me home to the light. Take my hand, my precious Lord, and lead me home.
41 years ago that he was killed, so that's a short time.
Yeah.
But it's still not important to everybody.
No, it's not.
And it's sad that it's not, you know.
It's not. That's why every time stuff like that comes on TV, documentaries, I make sure I find time to watch it. And I know people always say, well, why do you always watch it? It's like, because this is what I'm really interested in. I'm really concerned about what happened then. Because like you said, it was only 40 years ago. I mean, that's when my mom and dad were little.
Right.
40 years ago wasn't that long at all. You know, and just think 40 years ago, people were getting treated the way they were treated. You know, it's sad.
The promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Take my hand.
Something was very wrong in the very psyche of America. That we would destroy, that we would kill our best.
So did you like that one too, Kevin?
It's just so emotional.
Yeah.
It's to see the carriage that he laid in, the cell that he was behind, and the letters that were in there.
Yeah, it was very emotional.
So why is it important that we don't forget that?
I mean, because
We've come a long way.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for his contributions, we wouldn't be where we are now, you know. That's one of the reasons why.
Every year people come down here to go clubbing and to have fun and to party. And I think a lot of times a lot of people forget the reason why we celebrate this holiday.
Exactly.
Right. That's why I told Courtney that I really wanted to come here before I left, because I thought it was important to not, you know, how can you come to Atlanta and not visit this place?
Not on this weekend, you know.
I think that's very shallow, and I think that's very, that's self-centered.
I think we get caught so much in the hall of partying and all that fun stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
But like, why are we really here?
Why are we really here? And to see that crowd at his funeral.
Yeah.
Right. On these same streets.
On the same street.
Well, we're partying and clubbing and hanging outside 708 all night.
This is the same street they were all in. That's the church they were at.
And I mean, he had, I know he had the current president that was there. He had I know Bobby Kennedy was there. He had a lot of famous people. Harry Belafonte, they showed in the clip. I know Sammy Davis Jr. was there. Mahalia Jackson sang at his funeral. He had a lot of big people there. And I love the fact that, you know, the day after he was killed, you know, his wife actually went to Memphis to participate in the march that he was going to participate. Yeah. Even though her husband was just killed the day before, she thought that that was very important that she do that, because that's the reason why her husband was down there. And you got to give her credit and courage for doing that. Yeah.
She definitely deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, she definitely deserves a lot of credit.
An amazing woman.
Most people would have probably went home and cried their eyes out and said, I don't want to be bothered with this anymore.
That's what they thought she did. That's what they wanted her to do. But she stood in the position that for her husband, who had just been killed, and she stood there and carried on the torch that he started, you know. So.
And never let it go out. Never.
From, I'd say, what, 56 to 68 when he was killed, and those 12 short years, the impact that he put on not just his country but the world. You know, just for 12 short years, he was, you know, fighting for equality, not just with African Americans, but with all people. You know, with all people.
So now, with the election of President Obama, have we really come full circle?
No. 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 I mean, no. And I mean, it's funny because it's funny that you said that, because today when I was at the hotel waiting for them, President Obama was at this church in D.C. today, and they were having like this special, you know, service for Dr. King. And he said it himself, you know, he said, you know, people thought that when I was elected, things would change and everything. And he said, you know, that's not the case at all. And he's right. He's absolutely right.
We've come far,
but why would people think that things would change just because he's in the White House?
I don't know.
People voted for him because he was the better candidate, in my opinion. You know, they, for the first time ever, I think they looked at someone for the qualities instead of the color of the skin. But at the same time, we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, we still have a long way to go.
Still have a long way to go. And I will give him credit. We have come a long way to have a black president.
And we still got so far to go.
Yeah. They need to make a movie about her.
They do. You know how I can see playing her? Who? Sanaa Lathan.
Sanaa, yes.
If they make her up really right. If they make her up really right, I can see Sanaa Lathan playing her.
Rosa Parks?
No,
I'm going to write the screenplay.
It's just an eerie feeling. Once I seen Ebenezer Church, you know, I learned about it in school, but it was just like, ooh, this overwhelming feeling came over my body, like, wow, I'm here. You know, that's just how I felt.
You gonna wait here for?
I'll walk up there with you guys, yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
Yes. Did you get him on record?
A little bit, yes.
Oh, because I'm going to need that.
I was trying not to be all in his face. I was trying to be incognito about it, so it's probably all wobbly and shit. But ooh, he looks scrumptious. I was like, Lord, what time you get off, boo-boo?
Okay, 5 o'clock. Okay, I know. Y'all know how we talk. You know.
No, I don't know nothing. My name's Bennett and I ain't in it.
But that was a man behind that counter, because he didn't give.
That wasn't no man.
He was not. See, they hating.
Somebody's daughter. Somebody's daughter.
I think I saw him at Club LAX or whatever you call it. Wait, live in Atlanta.
Live.
When I see people like that, when I look at the legacy of Dr. King, I think like, who am I not to be the best that I can be?
Yeah.
How dare I not maximize my potential?
Yeah.
You got to lead me home to the light. Take my hand, my precious Lord, lead me home.
Hello, 3LW TV. It's the Skorpion and Makael in front of Dr. Martin Luther King's and CORETTA Scott's King grave. And today has been a very long day. We visited a National Historic Site. We've been to Freedom Hall. We went to Dr. Martin Luther King's house and to the Eternal Flame. And I want all of you guys to never forget where you come from and, you know, really struggle for progress.
I just want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and watching 3LW TV. Always, always stand in your light.
Hear my cry. Hear my cry. Hear my call. Hear my hand. Let's stop for war.
3LW TV.